Yeah. So hey guys, hello everyone. Good evening. So today, sorry for first of all, sorry for being 2 minutes late. And so today we are here for the DSA Essentials Bootcamp. Hope you all are fine. So just let me just confirm in the session. Sorry, in the comment box that am I audible and visible clearly? Is my voice clear? Please do give me the confirmation. Hi Naveen. Hi. Satyendra, yes. So, yeah, thank you, everyone. So today I'm the head of the Essential Special Initiative. So, yeah, good evening. So today we are here for the DSA Essentials Bootcamp, and this is for the 3 days, and we have reduced the timing by 1 hour. No chess, no, it's not paid, it's a free boot camp. You will be getting the certificate on the end of this boot camp. For that you have to just mark your attendance and submit the assignment. And also it's a valid certificate from ITM, LetsUpgrade and NSDC. So you can add it to your portfolio, and you will be doing amazing project with our expert developer. And 6:30 till 6:30 to 7:30. It's a session for 1 hour, 6:30 to 7:30. Link is not working. Wait, let me share my screen and tell you everyone like how to mark your attendance, submit the assignment, and how you will be getting your certificate. So just let me give. So just give me a sec. Sorry, give me a minute. Guys, I hope my screen is visible. Is it shared? Please give me the confirmation in the chat box. One, how many people are joining, which course you're doing, or you can also spam your fave emoji in the comment box. Guys, is my screen shared now? Wait, I will tell you like how to mark the attendance. Go in the description box. You will getting this one link. You have to click on it. So first you have first those who have not enrolled themselves, they have to enroll themselves for marking the attendance. And here you will be getting mark attendance option. You have to click on this toggle, and like you have to like how much you like the session. You can recommend it to your friend and tell them to join our free DSA bootcamp. They will be getting the valid certificate, so you can click on it. I will be giving 10 on 10. So we also do have paid Java DSA and full stack web development program. So if you are interested in any of this, you can go for it. And if you have any improvement for us, any feedback that you like, you are free to give give your suggestion. I will give nothing. And then you have to submit your assignment. And after submitting your assignment, please guys reload your page. So here you can see the progress bar, right? So it will increase day by day as you mark your attendance. And on day 3 and day 2 and day 3 you will be getting assignment. So if you have to submit that also, and the assignment will be also shown here only, below the mark attendance option. Yeah, and that you have to submit by GitHub link or any link that is accessible to us or everyone. And after reloading this page, your progress bar will increase. So for downloading the certificate on end of this bootcamp, you must have minimum at least 50% of progress bar. So then only you can see the generate of certificate option. So please guys, don't spam again and again like I didn't got the market generate certificate option. I'm not able to download. So after marking your attendance, again I will tell you about our newly launched B.Tech program, B.Tech CSC program. So guys, we have a newly launched B.Tech program with placement placement guarantee, 100% placement guarantee, and 1 year paid internship. We are in campus. You can go and check it to your any of your mate or any friend or anyone. You will get refer amount 80,000 or MacBook Air M1. It's upon you that you want 80,000 cash or a MacBook Air M1. I'm not able to mark attendance. Sanket, first enroll yourself. Then only will be able to mark the attendance. You will get the option to mark the attendance. Server is showing. Lagging voice, video lagging. Sorry guys, sorry if anything is lagging. There might be some network issue. So guys, 207 people have joined. Please do recommend our boot camp. It's a free boot camp, so let everyone get the knowledge. And they will get he said earlier, but I still can't. Okay, if you have any problem, then you can mail us on support at the rate letsupgrade.in. Good. So guys, please go and like our video. Please share it with your friends. And now I will add our trainer into the session. And also we have Java DSA program. If you want to enroll, if you want to know more about Java DSA, if you want to learn more things about coding, so you can join our course. So let me just share add the trainer. Hello sir, hello, good evening. So
Hello.
how you are sir?
I'm good. How about you?
Yeah, so sir, can you give a short explanation about this bootcamp to our student?
Yeah, sure. Okay. So, hello everyone. Uh, yeah. So, Anam, like, can you repeat it again? Your voice was, I guess, stuck in between. Can you
Yeah
just
sir, your
repeat,
voice
please?
is
What you?
audible. Clear.
Okay. Okay. Good. So, should I start? And do I have to
Yes
convey
sir, you
some
can
other
start.
information?
I will leave the session now, and you can go ahead. So bye guys, bye everyone, bye sir. Hope you have an amazing time. So bye.
Yeah. Sure. Okay. So, hello everyone. How are you all? A very good evening to all of you. Okay. So I'll just share my screen. Okay. Just let me know in the comment box when it says well. Right. And also tell me if my voice is clear. Okay. And just let me know when my screen is visible. Right. Okay. Good evening. Good evening, Ram. Good evening, Saket. Okay. Cool. That's great. So just let me know when my screen is visible. Right. Okay. So hi all. Is my voice clear? Right. Okay. Cool. Okay. So let's talk a bit. Okay, then we'll start. Right. That's okay. So now, okay. So as you all know, I hope is my screen visible? Just confirm in the chat box. Is my screen is visible? You all? Then we can start, I guess. Okay. So, the today topic is obviously the boot camp, the DSA boot camp, right? So it'll be like more fun, right? So I hope you already know about this. Okay, so let's go through this once, right? So I hope my screen is visible, right? I'm audible perfectly. Okay, cool. So see, so this is a 3 days boot camp, right? So just don't see that 3 days. You'll be like getting a lot of from this. Okay, lot of the knowledge and about the DSA. Okay, and obviously, so you had to work more on DSA. It will not obviously it will not complete it in 3 days, but obviously in this three days you'll be getting a lot of content, right? All of the knowledge how you can just start with the DSA and all. Okay. So if you can see my screen now, we have this. So first you have to enroll, right? So this link is given in the description. Okay. So in the video description, you have this link. Okay. So from the Let's Upgrade, we have this 3 days boot camp in the DSA. So I hope you got like, and I'm already told you about the steps how I can mark the attendance. So make sure you should be like have this 50% like attendance on the assignment submissions, right? So here only we'll be getting the options for this assignment submissions and the marking your attendance as well, right? So in this case, let's suppose, okay, so let me refresh this page. Okay, so here there would be option for the attendance. Yeah, yeah. Right. So here we have this option for the attendance. Right, you can see. Okay, just confirm this thing. Okay, you can do this same thing, right? I mean, obviously, you have to mark the attendance in the first. You have to mark this attendance after just after the this end of this class, right? So you can give any number of this rating, right, as you like the video. Okay, just try to give us the reason, right, and one of the feedbacks, whatever you want to give, okay, to improve us, obviously, and what program you're interested in. Okay, so maybe if you're interested in the full stack development, which is obviously one of the most important and trending, right, nowadays, okay, for the job, and obviously the DSA is the important, if you guys know, right? So those who know, there is a proper a convention, right, standard which is being followed for like many companies like Google, Amazon. So they follow DSA, right? So the first step is the DSA. Okay, so for that you can just follow this Java and DSA. Okay, and then we have the full stack dev. Okay, so whatever the program you're interested in, you can just select it from here. Okay, now there's the reason, whatever the reason you want to give, like the feedback. Okay, just give a proper feedback and the true. Okay, just be honest with it, and you can mark the attendance from here. This is the recommendation which you can give, okay, to your friend. Okay. Uh, okay. So the class would be like for 1 hour, like one hour, 1 hour 10 minutes. So in this class, okay. So let's do this thing first. Okay. So hello everyone. So I hope this is screen visible, right? You are able to see this. So here you can mark your attendance, but before doing this, you have to enroll into this program, right? So just go on this link, okay, which is given in the description box. You can go on this link. So for the attendance for enrolling into the program, the link is same. Okay, the link is same, and you'll be like redirected to this page. Okay, so here there's option for referral. Okay, so if you like it, okay, so we'll talk about a few more things. Okay, after this, like at the end of class. I hope you got the point about the attendance. Okay, I'll repeat this thing again. Don't worry. I'll repeat the same. Right. So here we have the upcoming days, right? What we are going to cover. Okay, so I'll tell you a simple, brief idea about this, right? What we are going to see today. So the first is basic. Okay, basic of Java. Firstly, some of the history part, how this Java is like when it is invented, who invented it, right? Why we are using Java, okay, why it is preferred more in the industries and all those things. So first we'll be seeing those the brief overview, and then we'll be setting this Java, right, in your system. So it will be like platform independent because you can run Java program anywhere, right? Maybe it's MacBook or Linux or Windows. Okay. So we'll see all those things. So this is the 3 day plans, right? The first day we'll be seeing the first, obviously, the basic concepts. Okay. So okay, yeah. Okay, so let's start with. I hope this is clear. No, yeah, you have to mark the attendance after the class. Okay, again after this class. Okay, so let's start with this today boot camp, right? So the first day we have to get the knowledge, well, obviously, about the basics of Java, right? So the first point which you are going to cover is basics of Java, right? This is the first point, and I'll come to the other points right afterwards. So yeah, you'll be getting all those notes and all those things right after the this day 3. Okay. So let's start with this. So this is the basic plan. Okay, so first would be the basic of Java which you are going to see, and then we have the second is installation. Okay, so basically we'll see from the scratch how I can install the Java, because there is a lot of misconception, right? Because we cannot run Java. Okay, it takes much time and it is complex. It's not like that. We'll see all those things. We'll see installation of JDK and the VS Code. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'll be using VS Code. It's up to you, whatever you want to use. Okay, so either you can use VS Code. There are other IDs as well, right? So this is one of the IDs which is user friendly, right? So if you are the like starting with this DSA or a particular programming language, so this VS Code would be a much friendly, right, to use it. Okay, so now in here the other part is going to be the, so after the installation we'll see the basic concepts, which is in here we'll see about the syntax. Okay, so every programming language has a syntax, right? If you know, so if you have, let's suppose if you are in the first year or maybe if you are freshers, okay, so you guys know there are like certain languages there, right, already, but for the Java and for the other languages they are different syntaxes. Okay, so first we'll see the syntax, how the code is written, okay, what is the proper code structure and all those things, okay, in depth. Then we'll see about the variables which is used. Okay, So there are certain terms will cover each one of it, right, which is required to start. Okay, so if you learn this thing, even you can start with other languages as well if you want to go, right. If let's suppose if you want to go into the full stack development, so for the Java we have the Spring Boot, right. So if you know about the syntaxes, variable and data types, it'll be easy to learn other languages as well, right. So first we'll see that, and then afterwards we'll continue with the functions and your methods, right? So obviously functions are called as methods as well, right? So this is the fourth which you are going to see, and then there are like simple points, which is the conditional statements. Okay, so this is important in terms of making the logic. Right? So obviously, programming is nothing but you are giving instruction to the computer. Okay, that instructions are in the form of a particular code structure, which includes this of statements, right? Which is the conditional statement, right? And okay, cool. So now in here, afterwards we'll see about the loops. Okay, so there are this few points we are going to see today, right? So I hope we'll start with this installation. At the same time, I'll tell you the basics as well, right? So let's not waste much time. Okay, I hope this overview is clear, right? I hope this is clear. Okay, now let's start with. Okay, so I hope you got this point. So what we have to do is first thing is in the basic. Okay, so let me explain this first. What is the basic, right, of this Java? So if anyone knows, so obviously Java is a programming language, but the one term is which we use is Java is a object-oriented programming language. Right? So we'll see about this term. What is object-oriented? Okay, and the important one is because that's why Java is being used in the industry from a lot, right. So this is the platform independent, right, language, which means in here language, this code can be run any software, like any system, whether it's Windows, whether it's Mac, whether it's your Linux, okay, anywhere it can be used, okay, at the same time. So the code is going to be same, only the compilers are going to differ, right. So those things we are going to see today. So this is a simple term, like if someone asks about the Java, so Java is object oriented and platform dependent language. So let me start from here. Okay, so this is the first point, and so the if you talk about the history, this is started like it was invented out in 1990, like early 90s, right? So it was around 1990s. So there was a particular person, right, and their team actually. So there's not a single person. There's this James Gosling who founded this, right? So firstly, the name, if you know, right, already. So this is a proper name which is started with the oak, right? So they based on the oak tree, then it changes to this Java. Okay, so there are like few points which is right now not necessary much, right? But you should know. So in 1990s, James Gosling and the teammates, okay, at so this is the company where they were working. Okay, Sun Microsystems still whatever the packages you are using, right, it is being handled by Sun Microsystems, right? So this is the particular, you can say, the organization which handles Java, right? So whatever the version you are seeing in the change, okay, so whatever the version is changed, that is okay, that is handled by the my Sun Microsystems, right? So this is the company which handles all those things. Okay, so this is the first point, and this is the second like kind of history. Okay, now okay, so let's start with this part, the installation. Okay, let's not waste much time, let's start with the installation. Okay, so meanwhile I'll explain all those things again. Okay, so I hope you're getting my point, right? So don't worry about this, what is this object oriented, we'll talk about this term, we'll even see about this platform independent, how this Java is platform independent. Okay, so we'll see all those things. And this is the basic you should know. Okay, so it was developed around 1990s. So at this time we had C++, okay, and the C language already. Okay, but they were not at that much of object oriented at the time. Java was introduced at the same time, it was object oriented and platform independent. Okay, that's the difference in between C and C++ and Java. Okay, so let's go on the installation part. So here what we are going to do is first we are going to install the JDK. Okay, so we'll follow the basic and standard step. We'll install the JDK, which will obviously contains your JVM and plus JRE, right? So this is the combination. Okay, we'll see this about this term. What are this JVM and JRE? So basically, this JDK is used to compile your programs. Okay, so if I talk about a simple term, which is compilation of the program and running of the programs, okay, whether it's in any other languages, okay, it doesn't matter. So every program, because computer doesn't understand the language, right? If you know, computer doesn't stand your normal languages. Okay, so the computer understands this, the binary language. Okay, so we have to convert this thing to the binary language. Okay, yeah, for the Mac also I'll tell you, right? Don't worry. Okay, yeah, there'll be Supriya, there'll be going to be a quiz, right, at the end of session, obviously. Okay, so there'll be a quiz. Okay, so I'll give you a simple snippet, and you have to tell me the kind of output, right, for that. Okay, so in the, like, if you remember this, computers understand the binary languages. Okay, so they binary code, so I can say in the form of 1 and 0 only, right? So we cannot write this code. It will be like too much hectic. We cannot even understand if there's only written 1 and 0. How are we gonna understand? That's why they are high level languages. So Java is again one of the high level languages, right, which we have. So to convert it, to compile this code, we have this JDK, okay, which is quite simple, which makes it kind of platform independent, right? So this is a proper step. We'll see how the program runs, right, in the this Java, right, when we are going to make it. So let's install this first. Okay, let's install this first. So we'll see. We'll start with this first part, right, which is the installation of JDK and all. So for that, you have to simply go on Oracle, right, and just type JDK. Okay. So you'll get obviously the latest one. Right. So just type this Oracle, okay, in the Google, and Oracle JDK. You'll see the first link. Okay, you'll see this first link. In here, we can just go to this link. Okay, so here we can download the JDK, which is required for us to compile the code, run the Java code. Okay, so we have online compilers as well. It's up to you, right? It's totally up to you, because if you want to go with the development part, you should have this JDK installed, right? Online compiler will not support the much development which is there in the Java, right? So in here we have this JDK. So if you are in the Linux user, you have, if you can see, by default it is in the Linux. Okay, so if you are the Linux user, you have to select on this Linux. Okay, and what I'll suggest, just go with the Debian package. Okay, right now I'm the Windows. Okay, but I know. So just try to go with the Debian package, because it is easy to install the Debian. Okay, so there is a proper command for this. Okay, I'll tell you all the commands in here. Okay, right now I'm on the Windows. Obviously, I'll tell you how we can do with the Windows. Okay, so for the Linux, when you are installing that package, okay, so when you're installing this from here, so when you're installing this Debian package, just go for this one. This is 155 MB. So just click on this link, it will download. Okay, and at this point, for the Linux, we have like this. Okay. So there is a command. Okay, there's a command sudo app install. Okay, so this is for the Linux part, right? Those who are in the Linux, you can use this command to install, and then you have to give that package name. Okay, package name and .deb with the extension. So you have to give that package name. Just hit this command. Okay, it will install in the Linux. This is for the Linux, and for the Mac it is quite easy. Okay, for the Windows as well. So you have to simply, we can use this DMG installer. Okay, this one. So here I guess it's for the 64-bit, right? Generally it will support in your 32-bit version as well. Okay, so if you're on the Mac OS, just click on this DMG installer. Okay, so Archie will have all the files in a kind of a zip file. Okay, so you can go through with this, but when we are using DMG installer, so handling the environment variables, right? Because if you want to install in a one directory, okay, if you are aware of this term, so we have to set the environment variables. So if you use DMG installer, it will be easy, right? So that's why I'm like, I prefer to use this one. So just click on this link. Okay, it will just wait for a few minutes. It'll just pop up with this message and will ask you to download, right? You can download it. And for the Windows, because right now I'm on the Windows, I'll tell you how we can use it. So we have this MSI installer, then we have the second one, which is the exe. Okay, so for this one, for the Windows, those who are on the Windows, so again the size is quite same, 159 MB. So click on the second link, right? It will be easy, because here we can easily set the environment variables, right? We don't have to particularly set the environment variables. It will be easy for us to run in any directory, right? So that's why we have to, let's just go for the second one. MSI will work as well, but here I guess the path, the setting of the path will not work as which is there, right? So we have to also install this WSL2. So in the Linux, actually, you can WSL is required for if you are like working with a Docker and all. Okay. So yeah, see, if you are a proper Linux user, right? If you have only Linux, if you are working in the Windows and you have this the virtual system, okay. If you have installed Linux in your Windows, then in that case you have to install WSL. Okay, that is required. But those who have already that Ubuntu, okay, as their primary operating system. In that case, you can directly go with this, okay, Debian package, right? I hope I'm clear. So just do this thing, okay? Just do this thing. We'll follow up the afterwards the VS Code, okay? So meanwhile, I'll explain a few points. Okay, you can just click on this link, download. So whether if you're in the Windows, either on the Mac OS, just perform the same steps. Okay, what I've just discussed. Just download this thing, and you have to just click on install, right? So when you are going to download it, I have this in here. I guess it's in the downloads. I'll tell you. Okay. So in here, I have the installation. Okay, I'll check it from here only. So I have already downloaded it, right? So I've actually had already installed the 18th version, right? But we have this. You can just click on this downloads and you can see it. So we have in this actually installed in D drive. So here we have. So you just click on this, right? Left click on this one. It will run, right? It looks good. As I've already installed it. Okay, so I'll not repeat the same step. So the thing is, you have to go through this part, okay, and just make sure you're installing in the C drive. So whatever the by default has set, okay, then that you have to follow. Okay, don't change the drive. It'll be like hectic if you want to that follow up the path variable. Okay, in that case, it will not work fine. So just go with the by default directory, that is your C drive. Okay, so it'll be automatically giving that C drive. Just follow that one. Okay, just go into this, double left click on this JDK. Okay, it'll ask you to install and just click hit OK and next and close. Okay, you don't have to change anything there, right? So the one thing which you have to do is, okay, so this is for the Linux. I hope you got this point, right? So this is the command for the Linux. Windows, we don't have any command. You can directly install with the ID, right? The GUI terminal which we have. So you can use that one to install. Okay, so just try to install it, and then we have to install the VS Code as well, because that's the ID I'm going to use, okay, for today. So again, we have lot of ID, that is Eclipse, right? We have IntelliJ. So it's up to you what you want to use, because VS Code is user friendly for the beginners. Okay, even for the expert developers, they prefer VS Code because we have a lot of extensions. Okay, so in that case, VS Code will be a better option. So right now we'll be working on this one. Okay, so this is kind of easy to use, right? The VS Code. So we can obviously run the HTML files and all those things in the VS Code, right? This is actually for the Java development. Okay, so if you are just working with the DSA and all those things, even development works with the VS Code. So just try to install this VS Code. If you have already, you have to simply download the JDK, right? Then let's see the environment variables. Okay, so for this step actually is not for everyone. Okay, I'll tell you. So there's a sixth step, okay, which is the path variables, right? So we have to, or you can say the environment variables in here. So this we have to set. This is only for those, right? Not for those who are like using another directory, right? Sometimes it might that Java command will not work, okay, if you are using any other directory, right? So so if you are using any other directory, let's suppose if you are using D, or if you have E drive, okay, whatever drive you had. So if you are using any of this drive, right, irrespective of C, right, in that case you have to follow this step, which is a sixth step. Okay, so the first thing, let's download this VS Code. Again, the same step. Just type VS Code on the Google, right? You'll see the first link. Okay, so there is a difference, right? There is a Visual Studio and there is a Visual Studio Code. So try writing this. Either you can write Visual Studio Code or VS Code. Okay, just simple. So the first link which you can see, just click on this one. It'll come for this Windows first. Then we have the supported this operating systems as well. Okay, so I hope you are getting this one. Okay, it's taking time. See. Okay, so till this point, I hope it is clear. Just let me know if you have any doubt till here. Right. So just download the JDK. I will see how you can set the environment variables. Right. The path variables, how we can set. We'll see that. But before that, install this JDK. Okay. It's taking time. Let me refresh the page. Okay. Okay. So let it open. I'll open this environment variables. Okay. So those who have already installed the JDK, you search for the environment variables on the Cortana. Okay, so there you can search for this environment variables. It will open pop up like this. Okay. So here what we have to do. This is for the sixth step. Those who are getting error, right? So you can follow this step. Here you have to just set up this environment variables. Just click on this environment variables. The first thing we have to do is your where we have installed it. Right. So first we have to go inside the directory, which is the C drive. Okay. In the program files, then go for this Java JDK20. Just go inside the bin. Okay, copy this path. Just remember this thing. We have to go inside the bin folder, copy this whole path. Okay, just again come to this part. So here, if you can see, we have the environment variables, we have the system variables. Okay, so just not to make thing any changes, right? We should not get any error. In that case, what we'll do, we'll set up both the variables. Okay, so just select the path. So if you can see, there is a OneDrive. After that, we have this path. Select, just left click on here, click on edit. Okay, I have already done this. Okay, so I have this in the D drive. So you have to just click on this new. Okay, copy this thing. Okay, copy this thing, hit OK. That's what you have to do. Right. Same goes for the system variables. Okay, just do this thing. If you have any doubt, just let me know. Right. See, we are not covering whole DSA. Right. For the first, we are seeing the basic. This is the day first, and in the second day, okay, I'll give the brief. Right at the end, I'll give the brief what you're going to see afterwards. Okay, in the later classes. Okay. Yeah, for the attendance, you can just wait after the class. Okay, I've already told you. I'll repeat that thing again. How you can mark the attendance. Okay, so that's how you can set up the path variables. Okay, just let me know when it's clear. Okay, we'll move ahead with the basics. Right, let's not waste much time in here. Okay, I hope this is clear. Right, this is easy. Right, so I hope you have already done this thing in other languages we are using. Either you can see the See, no, not for the Linux, right? Not for the Linux. You don't have to worry about the Linux because it will have only one drive. It will automatically set. Okay, you don't have to worry about the Linux, right? It will work automatically. Right? I mean, don't worry about the Linux part. In the Linux, you don't have to set the environment variables. Okay, so here we can do this thing. Okay, on the path, edit and just paste that thing. Okay, inside the bin folder, copy the path, paste it here, hit OK. Okay, it'll be like good to go. Okay. Uh, Okay, so now let's start with the VS Code. Okay, so just we have this for the Windows. You can install for the Mac OS. Okay, then have obviously this for the Windows. So if you're in the already in the Windows, you can just hit for this download for Windows button. It'll automatically download. Again, in here we don't have to worry about the path variables because in the installation it will come directly. Right. So it will come directly in that case. Now in here, so if you are on the Linux, you can install the deb package from the first one, and for the macOS we have only one link. Okay, so just go through this one, install this. Okay, and let me know when it's done. Right, so I'll go and tell you the brief. Okay, so in here, this is for the day first, which you are going to cover. So I hope the installation part is clear. Okay, so you can see the recording as well afterwards, right? If it's not clear, because we cannot wait much, right? We don't have much time. We have a bit time constant for this. So we'll see about the syntax, we'll see about the variables, the data types, and obviously how the Java code compiles and all those things. Okay. So we'll cover all those things in just a simple overview, right? In the day second, we'll start with the proper coding. Okay. So in here we have all those things. I hope this part is clear. Okay. So this is how you can set up the ID, right? This is the fifth step. Sixth is optional. Okay. It's up to you if you want to go for this. Otherwise, you can skip it, right? Now let me. Okay, so this is the optional step. Okay, so let's start with the basic part. Okay, so the step which I've already told you, right? Just follow that one. Let me know if you have any doubt. In here, it'll not be stuck much, right? It'll be easy. You have to simply follow the steps. Just go on next, next, next. Install. Okay, it'll be automatically installed. You can just have the desktop icon. Okay, so have this desktop icon. I have created one folder. Okay, I'll tell you how we can install the extensions. Okay, so if you want the extension, it's not necessary. It's just for your proper coding, right? If you are want to make it coding easy, because for the snippets, because we have a big syntaxes, right, in JavaScript, sorry, Java. So in that case, we should have some extensions. Okay, so we'll see that as well. Don't worry. So the basic part which you are going to see is the first one, obviously. So the how Java code runs, right? So how it runs, how it uses a JVM and your JRE, right? So we'll talk about this term, JVM and JRE, right? Obviously, not depth. In general, we'll see about how this thing works, and then afterwards, we're going to see the basic syntax and the code structure. Right? This is important. So let me know at any point if you have any doubt, right? When you're going to start. So I hope in this part will not have much doubt. So this is a simple installation part. Okay. If you get any issues with the path variables, just let me know. Okay, in the chat box. Okay. Uh, yeah, exactly. For the Eclipse, it automatically set the path variables, right? Same for the VS Code. That's why I told you you can skip this fifth step, sixth step, right? This is for only who are installing it in the D or E, right? This is for them. Okay. So we'll see about the syntax part. Then we are going to see about the basic code structure. Okay. And obviously, in the code structure, we'll include the simple terms which you are going to use, which is the variables. Okay. How we can use the variables, how internal they are working. And then we have the data types, right? So this is easy. Okay. Nothing different. If you already know about these terms, this is easy, right? So I hope this is clear, right? I hope you have already installed this. And if you're not, just install this at the same time. Let me know in the chat box if you are facing any issues. Okay. uh, I hope this is clear. Now let's start with the coding part, right? Let's start with the basic terms. Okay. So when you open this VS Code, it will look like this. I have created one folder. Okay. So what extra you can do, you can just search for Java, right? So there are a few extensions just for making your coding easy, right? Nothing else. That is optional. Okay. So just type here Java, going into this extension box. Okay. We have this extension pack. Okay. Just click on this one. Try to install it. I have already installed it. So there will be an install option like this. Just click on install. It will install. It will take a simple around 2 to 5 minutes. Okay. It will take time to install. So just hit on install, right? Like this, there will be a button. So the first one only, right? It will install the debugger and all those things, right? So with that only, we are good to go and we can run our Java code, right? So how you can check if your Java is properly installed? The basic step is you can either use a command prompt. Okay. Right now we are on the C, right? In the desktop, we have one folder. Okay, so if I just type Java and hyphen version, right, hit enter, you'll see few information about the Java, right, the versions and all those things. So here we have the latest version, which is 20, right, and then we have the runtime environment and all those things, the 64-bit server and those things, right. So this is not much important, but it should come. Okay, if you have properly installed, so this thing works like this. If you are getting any error, then you make sure you are securing that path variable, right? You have to store that path variable in that case if you're getting any error. Okay. So just let me know if you have any doubt in between. Okay. Just let me know in the chat box. Okay. So let's start with the first code, right? So see, there's a few terms, few terminologies which you have to use, right? Few things. See, now you are seeing this public class main automatically, right? Because we have this extension, right? That's how it makes thing easy, right? So in this case, if you are having this, you'll get few things like this. Let's suppose I'll talk about the simple structure what we have. So there is a public static void main, right? So this is a simple term, PSVM, right? Where you can just get this snippet. Okay. So if you have worked already in the HTML, we have few shortcut keys, right? Same goes for here. So that's why we are installing the extensions. Okay. Remember this thing in the Java. Okay. So there are few things which you have to know in the Java, right? Which is nothing but how the Java works. So the first thing is object oriented programming, right? So I'll make a simple notes in here for the day first. Okay, few terms we should remember. The class name which you're using, right? We'll discuss what is this class. So class name should be same as your file name. Okay, because there is a proper reason for this, right? So there are few points which we have to take care of in Java. When we are working in Java, we have to take care of this thing. Class name, whatever you are giving in the class name, it should be same. If I give one, right, you'll get error. Okay, that's the uh, standard they are following. Okay, so in Java we have to make sure the class name and the file name should be same. Okay, there is a reason. We'll talk about this. What is the reason? And one more thing is the class name. There is a simple convention, right? It's not compulsory to use the camel case, right? Which is for the class name. Try to give camel case, right? So camel case is nothing but first letter capital, right? That is the term. That is a camel case. Okay. So this is a simple convention, right, which follow in Java. Okay, not on the other languages. So this is for the class name should be in camel case, which means the first letter should be capital. If you're not doing this, this is optional, right? This is kind of optional. It will still work. This is an optional thing. Okay. Few more terms which you have to see is JVM. What is this JVM and your JRE? Okay. Whole thing makes up this JDK. So we have to only install JDK. It will automatically include JVM and JRE. Okay. So if you remember this abbreviation, Java Development Kit, and then there is a Java runtime environment, and this is the Java virtual machine. Okay. So see, we have to cover a lot of things, right? So I'll not take much time in the theory part. Okay, but still, in the meanwhile time, okay, in the day two also, I'll try to explain all those things, how the code works. Okay, so why your Java is a platform independent language, right? In this case, we have simple reason is JVM, just because of the JVM. Okay, because what it does, it converts your source code, okay, to the bytecode. We'll see this, right? We'll see this just a bit, in a bit, how it works. Okay. So this is the actual reason, because this is one of the questions, right? There's because in DSA when you are learning, obviously we are going to implement this in development, but it is this type of questions asked in the interviews as well, right? For that, uh, yeah, dot Java is the extension, obviously, right? Yeah, this is the second thing, right? So dot Java is the extension of the this file name. Okay, so this is for the class name actually. So whatever the class you are giving, or you can simply say class or the file name. Okay. See, I'm not going to say this is as a class. I'll just say for the file name, because this byte code, right? This byte code which you're going to see just now. Okay, so I'll tell you how this converts also. Right, we'll see that thing as well. Okay, so this is a proper reason, because just with the help of JVM, this Java is a platform independent language. It can be run in Mac, it can be run in Linux, in Windows as well. The same code, just because of the JVM. If we have JVM installed, it'll be easy to use your any code, right, or whatever we are going to write in here. So this is a simple structure of the Java, right? It contains one class. We have a simple function, right? So I'll try to explain, right? So just let me write a simple code. So this is a simple structure of the Java. Okay, we don't have much in here. So this is the reason for the platform independent. I hope this is clear. Okay, so I'll explain what is this thing. Okay, so the Java follows this concept. They convert the source code to the byte code. Okay, so when I was talking about running a Java code, right? So they have two steps. Okay, which is followed. Okay, first is the compilation part. Okay, and the second part is your running, right, or execution of your byte code. That is the concept in Java, right? So the byte code which you have, it gets converted or it gets executed with the help of this binary, right? Whatever the language, machine language we have. So this bytes code is a kind of platform independent thing, right? So there are certain two steps which is there in running a Java code. Okay, is that a no? Abstraction is a different thing, right? We'll come to that part. Okay, that is a different thing. Abstraction is not with the case of JVM or bytecode. Okay, this is a different concept. The Java follows this thing with the help of JVM. That's why it makes it platform independent. You have to know this thing only. Obviously, we'll not go in the internal working, right, for this thing. So the compilation works. Obviously, it will convert in the bytecode. Then we execute the bytecode with the help of this JRE. Right. So bytecode executed by this JRE, or you can say this term JVM. Right. They all both of them are kind of same term, right? Because it depends upon the operating systems. Okay, so you can just say JVM runs this bytecode, and the conversion, how you are getting this converted, is the compilation part. So there are two steps related to the Java code. Okay, that's easy. So these few points we have to remember, right, every time we are writing a simple Java program. Okay, either in the development or in the DSA, right? So this is a simple structure in Java, right? In Java, unlike the other languages, we don't have this object oriented concept in C. In the C++ we have, but in Java there is a proper reason for this class. Okay, so we have a simple class, and then we have a method, right? What it does, this is a simple code, right? This is a simple code. I'll tell you the basic structure of the code in Java, right? This is one of the basic. Okay, so what I'll do, okay, so if you guys remember, so this is the execution point. So we call it with a different term, which is the entry point. Okay, because this can't be repeated, right? So in the day three and like in the day two only, right, we'll see about functions and methods in deep, right? So in that day, we'll understand how this thing cannot be repeated, right? This is a main method, right? Nothing else. So just remember this thing. This is the execution point. Okay, you are running this code. It will start from here. Whatever code you are writing in here, it will start from here, right? Not the code we are going to write in here. Let's suppose if I'm writing anything, it will not write this thing. It will not execute this thing. Everything will start from here, right? That's the logic in Java. That's how the compilation works. Okay, so they should create the file. See, file you can create anywhere, right? You can just have a simple. No, bytecode is not in the binary format. Bytecode again gets converted into the binary format, right? Bytecode gets converted into the binary format. That is a different thing. Okay. Now what we have to see is, okay. Let me write a simple code in here. Yeah. So what I'll say, okay, so I'll just start with this simple code, right? The hello world, obviously the basic or the fundamental of the any programming language, right? The hello world. So how we are going to execute it? If you can see, if you have already installed the extension which I told, okay, in that you can see this thing. There is a two options, right? Run and debug. Okay. So from here you can have the idea, okay, to run this. So either you can we can debug. So we'll see this term later. Debug is a different thing. We'll simply click on this runs. We have already saved this file. So what we have to do, we have to simply run on this. Okay, click on this run. Now you'll see it will execute some of the commands which you don't have to worry about. You'll see this. Okay, if you can see the console part, we have this hello world, right? So we have written a simple code which writes to the terminal, nothing else. Okay, it's not doing anything. It's simply writing. No, Java and JavaScript is a different thing. Okay, there's a quite difference between the JavaScript and all those things. Okay, yeah, we can save that file, but sometimes you'll get error, right? We'll talk about this term because this is a proper. There should be a proper class for this, right? There's a proper explanation for this whole line, public static void main. Okay, this is a whole term. Okay, like a chapter. So we'll see that this is not much of importance, but every time we should pass this public, not get any error if you have more than one files. Okay, that's why we make it public. Static void main will work same. Okay, that's how. Okay, how this is clear, right, Ketan? You can ignore this public as well, still work, but with the class you have to pass the public if you have more than one files, right? That's how we can make two files run, right? How they can share the code. Okay, yeah, the in the interpreter, yeah, exactly. So that's how we can run. Okay, so other way is also we have in the VS Code you can run from here on the right hand side. There's run Java, right? From there also you can simply run, right? That is also a possibility. So in here we have seeing this. Okay, so we are doing the same thing. We are simply writing the system.println. So what it does, this is a simple print statement. Okay, which prints or you can say writes to the console. Okay. I'll say terminal, not a console. Okay. So this is simple code. Okay. So what I wanted to explain with the byte code, right? That is the simple concept we have to see. Okay. Then we'll move ahead to the other concepts. Okay. So in here, what we have to do is we can run this same thing, right? With the help of the commands, right? If you remember, we have this command called as this Java, right? So it tells us we are running with this Java interpreter or this compiler. We have to pass the file. Okay, so we have to pass the Java C. The first step, as I told you, the compilation part. Okay. No, we can have more than one class in the same file. Okay. This is possible. That is an advanced concept. Okay, you'll get to know. Okay, you'll get to know. Don't worry. So what we have to do is we have this command Java C. Okay, which means we have to compile a particular file. Okay. So what I'll do, I'll say main.java. Right. So simple. So when I hit enter, you'll see it creates a file. This is the bytecode. Okay. So for the bytecode, I'll write one more thing. Bytecode have this dot class. Okay, the extension. So this is the bytecode, nothing else. If you can see right now on my screen, there is a main dot class. Okay, the code will not able to see. This is a different. Okay, that is a compiled file. You're not able to see in general. Okay, so in here, this command executes the compiles this program converts into bytecode. We have this dot class. So this is a proper explanation. Okay, how the Java code runs. That we have to know because this comes in the interviews as well, right? Many times this is going to be covered. Okay, they are asking this question: how you can run or compile the first step of the Java execution, right? How we can execute a Java file. So now, see, we haven't executed our Java file yet. We are not seeing this hello world. We have just created one file, which is nothing but the byte code, right? Now, what for running the file, you have to simply write Java, right? And then you have to pass main. with a and capital because this is case sensitive. When it hit enter, you'll see this hello world, right? So now you're not seeing all those commands which you're seeing directly with the run. I can do the same thing with the run, right? There are alternative ways of doing the same thing. Okay, I'm just explaining this part. So this is the basic concept, the fundamental how the Java code execution works. Okay, this is important. Okay, this we should know. Okay, now I'll start with this part. Okay, let me open this one. Okay, so in here, I hope this the simple coding structure that is clear. Okay, I'll just copy this thing. I'll tell you in here. I'll explain this. Anyone have any doubt till here? Okay. That X is actually see that is a VS Code extension, nothing else. So it will tells you that is a string. Okay, so we'll see what is a string and all those things. That is just the extension. That is just because of the extension part, nothing else. Okay, so I'll explain you about this one. Right. So in here we have the simple basic structure from till class. So every Java file should have class and should have one entry point, which is the public static void main. That you should know for now. Okay, we should not waste much time in here. I'll explain this thing again detail in the day two. Right. So this is a simple structure. Now what we have to see about the simple points, okay, which is nothing. This is the syntax. Okay, so we covered this point, which is the simple syntax. Syntax covers the class. We should have one class. Okay, it should be public. This can be ignored for now. Okay, but in general, this is a simple code structure, right, of the Java. This is a syntax. This is a function. Okay, so we'll cover this term, which is what is a function. Now we have to see about variables and the data types. Okay, this which we have to see right now, right? So variables and data types are quite easy, right? Nothing different. So in day-to-day life, right? Because Java is totally related to the our day-to-day life, right? So real world, right? So what we call the real world. That's what is the concept is about. So it is quite related to the real world. Okay. So this class, we can understand this term class and this function with the help of our, let's suppose, okay, we'll do this thing later. Let's see about the variables and data types. It will take much time. Okay. So any doubts if you have right till this point, okay, just let me know. Okay, Ketan, I hope you got the point. Right. Okay, so that is just a VS Code extension, right? That X. Now we'll come to this variables. Okay, so now what is this variables? Okay, let's talk about this. So variables are nothing but the containers. Okay, so we can just think of a box, a simple box, okay, where we can store some data, right? So variables are the same thing. Okay, I'll not take much time in here because this is a simple concept. Variable, we don't have much concept in the variables. That is just like a simple container, right? To store a variable, to store a data, right? So either we can use any the variables we had, right? So variables are just the names, right? So they are just like the names from which we can store the data, right? So they are variables. If I thought about the variables are nothing but the thing which is used for storing the data, right? That's what variable is about. Okay, so you can just think of a simple container, right? Just think of a simple container which can store a data. Okay, I'll simply write few terms. Okay, to store data in memory. Okay, again, we don't have to worry how the memory concept is working, right? Because Java handles this thing perfectly. We don't have to worry about this memory, how we have to allocate, because there was a case in the C language, right? There we have to worry about how you are allocating the memory. Here we don't have to worry about. Okay, again, there is a term related to it. Okay, how why Java is so popular, right? Why it is being used widely in the industry, because we have this garbage collector in Java. Okay, so this is a concept which is used to allocate the memory, right? Nothing else. So it'll handle this thing automatically. Okay, so it'll allocate the memory. It'll free the memory as well. Okay, I'll write free. Free means whatever the variable name we have used, if it's the work is done for that variable, it will be removed from the memory, right? Just to have some space. Okay. Now what we have to see is about for the variables, this is a simple concept, right? This is just like a container. Okay. So variables, you can say just a name, right, which you can hold. So in Java, there is a concept of stack and heap memory, right? So stack holds this thing. Okay. So if I talk about that, I'll tell you. See. So whenever you're writing a variable, right? Let's suppose I'll explain with the code part. Okay. So right now we are not using any variables. Variables we can use in here. Okay. So I'll write the comments at the same time. Okay. So just to make things clear, I'll write the same comments at the same time. So here, so what if you have to use a variable, right? So they are okay. So there's a concept of this end. We'll come to this later. let's suppose I have to store a number, right? 11 or anything. So I'll just say number, and I'll just write here, let's suppose 14 anything. Okay, so this is a number, right? Now this is a simple variable. Okay, so there are other terms related to this. There is a local variable, there is a global variable, right? All those things will cover this thing. Right now we just have the basic concept. Okay, so in this point we have this number, right? And we can use this number. Let's suppose if you want to print this number, right? So I'll say number is and in here, okay. So this is a concatenation operator, right? We'll come to this term, which is the operator, how this thing works. Okay, so we'll see this thing in here. This is a simple variable, which is nothing but an integer variable. We call it as an integer variable. Okay, this is a simple. So see, DSA concept, like in general, starting with the this day do, right? Right now we are seeing with the basic concepts. Okay, important topics we'll see, right? Important topics, obviously the algorithms, okay, the sorting algorithms and all those things. The basic concept is how this thing is working, that we have to know, right? That is going to cover in the this day do, right? The algorithms, the DP concept, okay, the advanced algorithms, recursion, all those things. Okay, we cannot directly jump into that, right? Obviously, we have to start from the scratch. So this is the basic concept. If you don't know about the basic, you're not able to understand the algorithms, right? That is a bit complex. Okay, so this is quite easy, right? This is a simple variable. I have used int. So let's talk about the data type as well for now. Okay, so there is another term which is nothing but a data type. Okay, so let's see. So data types are nothing but the simple, we can say, the terms or the conventions used, okay, for here, which is to, let's suppose if you have a number, right? So we can differentiate our data. Okay, that's why we're using the data types. So we have various data types which is there, okay, in Java, which is your, see, we have into, so in general it is divided into this part, which is primitive. Okay, so I'll not go in depth. We'll see this thing, right? Meanwhile, so there is a term which is primitive, and then there is a non-primitive. Okay, or you can say the derived data types. Okay, this is simple. So we have this primitive data type, then we have a derived data type. Okay, so in this thing, what we have, so primitive are those which is already defined in the Java, right? In the Java language, we cannot change it. If we have this int, we have to use int only. We cannot change it, right? We cannot use of our own. In derived data types, you can give data types of our own as well, right? That is possible in Java. So primitives are, let's see the simple example. That is nothing but int. Okay, there's we have char, we have string, okay, and we have boolean, okay, and there are others as well, not required right now. So let's come to this. So we have this int, string, boolean, and char, all those things. Let's see what are them. Okay, let's see with a simple example. We have used an integer variable, which means integer variables nothing but to store the integers. Okay. Now you'll ask me how we can, yeah, obviously, right? So we have this integer, char, float, long, double, right? So can anyone tell me the difference between this int and your float or in double? What is the difference between this? Anyone can tell me? What is this difference in between your float and your integer? What is the difference? Can anyone tell me in the chat box? Anyone? I hope you're getting my point, right? What is the difference in between this? Into store the whole numbers, okay, that's correct. Okay, that's totally correct. Right. For decimal, for what? Float, right? Exactly. So float, okay, so we have lot of this primitive data types to use, right? So if you want to store a decimal numbers, right, we have float, we have double, right? We have so many things. Okay, then there is a long also, if you remember, right? So anyone remembers about the difference between the long and int? What is the difference between long and int? In Java, we have this term as well, right? I'll write it here. Long and int. What is the difference in between this? Anyone remembers this? Yeah, float gives decimal, right? That's correct. That's correct. Okay. Guys, just bear with me for at least 10 to 5, 15 minutes more, right? I know it's going to exceed, but yeah. Precision values. Okay, so can you like tell me what is this precision values then? Yeah, got it. Right. Exactly. That is a 64-bit and a 30 float. No. I'm asking between the int and long. Right? What is the difference between int and long? Float is obviously that 32-bit. That's correct. exactly, the size is different, right? So the size which are the bytes actually we are using, right? So we have this term which is byte. Obviously we are not going into the memory part, okay, much. So that concept, obviously, see, if you have to learn all those things, right, all the points, okay, so there is a separate 3 months and 4 months boot camp, right, which Let's Upgrade provide. So in that, all those things could be covered, right? Obviously, see, you cannot learn all the things in 1 hour, right? We have to see the basic overview, right? But in that 3 month to 4 month boot camp, you'll learn all those things, right? Obviously, we are going to see the algorithms, right, in the day two and all those things, algorithms, the that greedy and dynamic programming and all those things. Obviously, we're not going to solve much programs, but yeah, we are going to see something, right, in that. uh, it's okay, right? If you have Margaret, it'll not be very okay. It'll not be very exactly okay. That's what you got. That is the 2 to the power 31, 2 to the power 31, right? That is the byte value which is there, right? Actually, it's in a bit, not in a byte. Yes, because byte is your 8-bit, right? That's the conversion rate. Okay, so we'll see those things. So we have for the decimal, we have float, we have double. Okay, there is another term which is long double and long float, all those things. Okay, that's not necessary right now. So this is the primitive data types. Let's suppose if I want to store a decimal value. Why we cannot store in here? Because integer cannot store a decimal value. If I want to store 14.4, it will give me error. If you can see, type mismatch, right? So there is a, we have to follow this thing also. There should not be any syntax error. This is called the syntax error, right? This is called the syntax error right now, because it is error in the code itself. Before compiling it, we are getting this error, which is the syntax error, right? Remember this difference. There is a difference in between the runtime error and the syntax error. Okay. Now we have this. We cannot store in here, obviously. So we have this float. If I say decimal value, I'll say this decimal value. I can store 14 point anything. I can store. Sorry, right? I can store anything in here. Will not get okay for the float now. Let's use double for here. Right. See how you can use any value. Here we are getting a warning in here, a simple warning, which means this is not used, right? Let's suppose we are going to print this as well. We are going to print our decimal number. Although this is easy, right? We should not waste much time in here. Let's move ahead to the variables and loops and the data types. So the data types we have like this. This is a primitive data types. Then we have more, right? So we have a boolean. Let's cover them as well. So boolean is just a there's true and false values. Can anyone tell me? Okay, yeah, obviously Java is static, right? It's a static type, which means we had uh, constant to the syntax error, right? You cannot have uh, execute the code if you have syntax error, right? That's what is the difference. Okay. Uh, okay. Just give me 10 minutes, right? 10 minutes more. I'll explain few more points. Okay. Then we're good to go. Okay. Just give me 5 to 10 minutes more, right? Just guys. Yeah. So tell me the difference between this true and false. Okay. So we have this boolean value. Suppose I'll say is correct. Okay, so we have another primitive data type which is boolean. So if you remember, this is used for obviously the falsy and correct values, right? The truth values. I can store true in here, right? But what else is true? Okay, if I'm not writing this true in here, what else we can do to make this thing correct, right? What else we can do in here? Exactly, right? That's correct. We have 0 and 1 as well, right? We have 0 and 1 as well. Okay. Exactly. True equals to 0 and this false equals to 1. Right? That's correct. That's correct. And in here, that is totally correct. So you can pass 1 here as well, which is also correct. See, in this case, you cannot store 1 as well, but this 1 is considered as this your true value, right? Because we can have this typecasting for this if you want. Okay. See, we are not going to learn about this for now. Okay. So let's just stick with the true for now. Okay. We'll see all those things. Uh, See, the main part which you have to see is about the functions. Okay. Because variables and data types are like this. Variables are nothing but the names you are using. This is the variable name. Okay. This is the simple variable name. Okay. And it is storing a value, which means whenever we are going to use this, we can use the value of this 14. We are just writing number, we can use this value 14. Okay, so we have many number of data types. Okay, you can explore all those things. Now we are going to see about the loops, right? Then we have a loops, and this is the data type. Okay, this is already covered. Let's see about the loops. Okay, yeah, this true is correct. This true and your one is the same. Okay, so we'll see about the conditional statements and loops. Okay, then we can just have the end of session. Okay, so see in here, what else we have to use is, let's suppose, of the loops. Okay, so let me, okay, I'll ask you one more thing is, you know about the system.out.print. This is just simply to print the numbers, right? Nothing else. Here we can print the numbers separately, number, string, anything, right? We missed one important data type, which is a string, right? Which obviously the character literals, right? Here we can store hello world, anything. This is the simple term, right? So in here, okay, uh, right. So let's see about the loops, and we are like we'll end the session, right? We'll cover other points in the day two. Okay. So here we have simple hello world. This is a simple string which is nothing but the characters. You cannot store characters or string in the number, right? In the integer or double value, right? That is the constant. Okay. So tell me this thing. We'll cover all the other points in the later classes, right? In the this day two. Okay. I'll start with the directly with the coding part. So in here, what we have to do is, let's suppose I have to print numbers from 1 to 10, right? So what I can do, I'll just comment this out for now. What else I can do is, in here, I can print like one directly. I'll use like this, right? And I can have like this, right? Let's suppose two, then we have three, then we have four, and five, and six, and seven. Right. That's how we can print the numbers, right? Obviously, if you want, let's suppose if you want to print 100 numbers, it is not a good way, right? Obviously, it's not a good way of doing this thing, right? But in here, what else we can do? We have loops for this thing, right? So what is loops? To avoid the code repetition, right? To avoid a code repetition, to repeat a logic. Exactly. So can anyone tell me how many types of loop do we have in Java? How many types of loop do we have in Java? Anyone can tell me this thing? Loops are used to avoid the code repetition. Okay. Obviously, we can use loops for print. We can use loops for extracting the elements from the array. Right. We'll see this thing in the tomorrow's class. Okay. So for, do while, and okay. So are you guys sure we have only three types? Are you guys sure you have only three types? Are you guys sure about this? Exactly, right? Exactly. So we have four. Bhaskar is correct. Okay. See, in general, we had only three, but from the Java 8, okay. Remember this thing, right? Because we are in the working with the Java 8, right? So from the Java 8, right, when the Java 8 is introduced, this version, right now we are working with the Java 20, right, the JDK. We had this another loop as well, right? So now we don't have only three loops, okay. We had more for loops, okay, and it is called as the internal loops, okay. In general, it is working faster. So we'll talk about that in later classes. First, we'll see about the for do while. I hope you remember the syntaxes, right? So yeah, actually we have like four. We have for each loop, and then we have this for the enhanced for loop. Okay, so I hope you already remember about the loops, which is first the for loop, and I hope you remember the while, right? Then we had three, which is the do while, and then fourth you have for each. Okay, let's talk about this for now. So I'll explain this one again in the later classes. Let's see for the for. It is quite easy, right? So just remember for now, like from now, we have four loops. Okay, in general five. Just say it four, right? So we have for each as well. Yes, it is there from the Java 8. This is not in the lower versions. If you have JDK less than this 8 or this 10, it will not work. Right? Switch case is not a loop, right? Switch case is not a loop. Switch case is a different thing. Yeah, see, Aman, whatever you have written, right, that is the enhanced for loop. That is a different. Okay, that is a different thing. Okay, so simple, if you have to write this thing, okay. So we'll do actually, see, we'll do this quiz part. I'll just give the quiz in the day two only in the starting. Okay. Sorry, we took more time to this part. Right. Just give me a few more minutes. Okay. So what we have to write is simple I, right? In here, actually, I plus one will have because I is starting with a zero, right? Yeah, that is simple syntax. Okay, we'll talk about the syntax in later classes. Let's see about this because I'll continue from here only. Okay, in the day two, and we'll see more advanced concept, that is sorting and all those things. Okay, so we'll not cover this data types and all those things. Okay, we'll see obviously a few more points about this, but okay, let's run this. Okay, let's run this file. So what I have to do, I have to simply click on this run, right? We'll see 1, 2, 3, 4, and 10, right? For each used in conjunction with processing arrays, exactly, right? I mean, see, it can be used in traversing, it can be used in accessing the hash maps as well, right? For each also can be used, but we have to import another library for that. It cannot be directly used in this because we are not importing any libraries, right? So we'll see this term, right? That's what we are going to see. See, it might be boring for now, right? Just for the first, because it is a basic class, right? But we'll see all the advanced concept, right? We'll start with the for each. We'll try to use for each. We'll not use this for while and do while. Okay, obviously we'll see the syntax, but see how we can use this for loop. We have the iteration part, we have the condition part, and this is the incrementation. Okay, so if we wanted the numbers from 1 to 10, this is how we can do. Right, this is a simple for loop. Anyone have any doubt till here? Okay, and just make sure, guys, just make sure to mark the attendance, right, and enroll into this TSA bootcamp, right? So this is simple, the basic concept which I have seen, right? In day two, obviously, we are going to see other concepts as well, right? From now onward, remember this thing: we don't have only three loops; we have more than three loops, right? Anyone have any doubt till now? Yeah, especially using the hash maps, right? Exactly. We'll see that hash map as well. Anyone have any doubt till here? Just let me know. Right. Make sure you're marking this attendance from here, right? And remember this thing: you're not going to get this certificate until you are have this progress still 50%. Okay, the minimum criteria is a 50 percentage. Okay, exactly, right? See, we haven't covered more concepts, right? We'll start with the day two, and we'll have more concept like this for each. Okay, I'll talk about the internal working of the arrays, right, and all those things. Exactly. See, Naveen, what I'll do, I'll make a proper notes. Okay, I'll at the day three, I'll give you all those things. Right. Assignments will be getting from the site only, right? Manpreet will be getting the assignments from the site only. Okay. See, assignments actually the term is we are going to see the assignments from the day two, not on the day one, right? So the assignments are going to start with the day two because we don't have much concept in the day one, right? That's why. Okay. Any doubts till now? Any doubts till now? Any doubts till now? While for and for each, yeah, see, there is an enhanced for loop also. It's gone, right? We have more for loop. A quiz will be doing tomorrow, right? We have already exceeded the time. Okay, sorry for that. We'll do it tomorrow, right? We'll do it tomorrow. The quiz. I'll start the quiz in the starting only. Don't worry. Okay. Assignment is only for the Ketan, don't worry. I'll provide all the notes, right? I'll have more concept, whatever I have created. I'll write it in that the day three. I'll give you, right? I'll give you the GitHub report. Don't worry. Any doubts till now? Any doubts till now? Abhi tak koi doubt hai? And make sure, guys, you are subscribing to the channel, right? Because if you want to have this lessons, right, the conceptual lessons, and in the upcoming days, right, we'll be having this boot camp, which is obviously for the three to 4 months. We will be getting all the knowledge right here because obviously we cannot cover all the things in 3 days, right? So आप try करना, just make sure if you're liking this session, just hit the like subscribe and this like button, right? Hit the like button, and okay, make sure you're sharing with your friends as well, right? Those who are starting with the Java or any programming languages, right? Because we are working with a generic language. Okay, we are not particularly working about the Java. We are seeing the basic, right? Okay, cool. So just make sure you can refer here. You can get the coins. Okay, you'll even get the chance to win the MacBook and some cash prizes as well, right? If you refer your friend and he or she enrolled into this, okay, this DSA bootcamp, then he'll get a cash prize as well. Okay, and okay, just make sure to have this attendance. Okay, see, Akshata, this string ARGS we are going to cover, right? We are going to cover in the day two, right? I'll clear all your doubts in the day two, right? Whatever that we had this structure, because I'll explain this string ARGS in general, okay, in depth. Don't worry. Okay, we'll cover those things. Any doubts till the for loop? Just let me know. Any doubts till now? Otherwise, you can just end this session, I guess, right? I hope you enjoyed the session, right? Just make sure you are subscribing to the channel, right? And please like this and share with your friends as well. Okay, I'll be like informative to them as well, right? uh, Online computers, yeah, obviously you can use online computers. Yep, obviously you can use. Okay, any doubts, any doubts? Thank you. Thank you. See, remember, right? Remember this thing. Just make sure you are sharing this, right, and enrolled into this DSA bootcamp. Okay, it'll be like very beneficial for you guys. Okay, I hope you'll get more knowledge in the day two, right? We haven't seen much concept in the day one because it took more time to the installation. Any doubt in the installation, I'll clear in the day two, right? Don't worry. Okay. I'll cover this. ठीक है. Okay. Uh, any doubts? Okay. Cool. If you don't have any doubt, okay. So see you guys then tomorrow, right? Hope you enjoy the session. Make sure you're liking it, right? Okay. Okay. Cool. Thanks. Thanks. Bye, guys. Can we use online? Yeah. Okay. Online compiler reaction. Sorry. Yeah, you can use online compiler. Obviously, you can use online compiler. No issues. Yeah. See, Devin. Yeah. Obviously, you can use. Sorry. I didn't saw it once. You can use online compiler. Obviously, you have just JDoodle, right? JDoodle we have. This is our best compiler for the Java. Right? You can obviously use it. Okay. I hope. Let's. I'll just.
Hey, hi everyone. So my
I
name is
hope-
Sai Kiran and I'm the founder and CEO of LetsUpgrade, and I'm having some amazing news for every one of you. LetsUpgrade, in collaboration with ITM Skills University, is launching the first B.Tech CSE program that we love to share with you all, guys. 6 features. Number 1, 100% job guarantee to all the students joining this particular program with minimum 8 LPA. Number 2, 1-year paid internship in product/MNC companies. Number 3, taught by real developers working in the industry in top companies. Number 4, amazing campus, a campus which is like we work in Mumbai that we are building for you all, guys. Number 5, build lots of projects which are like real world applications, highly scalable applications from Hotstar to Zoom to your own Zomato. Number 6, you are gonna love the community collaborations that we guys have done. We are collaborating with 13 plus tech communities to give you the same environment what IITs and NITs have. Meet lots of industry people, participate in hackathons and meetups to understand what is running in the industry. That's what these are the 6 features which we have. You can check out the program on our website, that is isu.ac.in. Check out B.Tech there, you will find it. That's it, guys. Bye bye.